Hey guys, Sierra Bailey here with Accel Commercial Real Estate. The video you're watching ties into our event in June, Accelerate. If you want to learn more about what you see today, scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description to get your tickets now before early bird pricing runs out. Enjoy the video.
One of my favorite things about commercial real estate, though, is and helping our clients is we have really amazing vendors. We have people that we like to recommend, and one of my favorite people to recommend is my friend Ryan Reed. And I was trying to think how long you and I've known each other. It's probably been 6 or 7 years.
Yes, and also Brian and Jana sold my business property, and listening to Greg did the 1031 exchange and got a bigger piece of property. So in essence, counting my home, which is very close to being paid off, I would consider it to be the third property that will be, an asset, not a liability.
Yeah, I was bugging him, so I was doing the cold calling, saying, okay, let me sell your property. Let me sell your property. I think it's improved in equity. I think it's time. And finally, he was like, "Well, I'll sell it if you'll get me X." And
Yeah, you don't bluff Jana. Doing that was an error if I wanted to stay there.
yeah,
And she came back about a week later. It's like, oh, I got this. All right, I guess I gotta start looking.
well, and it was 30% above asking, and this was before things started heating up. So it was really that was a fun transaction.
Yes, good job.
But he had a great property. So to be fair, he brought me a good product. And so I felt like it was really good. And we ended up having a very good outcome of that.
Yes.
I insert the line, not, results may vary. It's not going to be the case in 100% of the deal, but I've had some opportunities. But for us tonight, we like to be able to say we have the business in the box. So for you as investors, where that really comes into play is we do the proof of concept. We interview people who have done it or in the process of doing it and doing it well. And we interview people who can help you get there. As Greg talked about, he has a small but mighty team of people that he trusts. And he probably has his go-to vendors that he is not part of his core team. But if you were to ask him, he was probably going to say, well, I use this person to check out geotechnical stuff. I use this person. So he's got an extended vendor team. So Ryan is part of that. And today we've asked him to talk about protecting your assets. He owns a company called ICU Security, and I will let you talk about what your company does. And then let's kind of take that twist, because this goes beyond just buying and selling. There's some other, he's got some hacks for you, I think, that will be very helpful.
Well, since the audience is primarily investors and sellers of real estate, I had a customer, it was NCG, which is Neighborhood Cinema Group, and they're out of Michigan. And they're building in Gallatin a big, theater. This has been about close to 10 years ago. And so I left a message with the owner. The owner wasn't there. I was just like, don't you want to be able to see this investment? Because we're talking, even though this was 10 years ago, this is still a theater. So it's probably like $10 million. I was like, it would seem like this investment would come standard with some cameras, and you're in Michigan. Wouldn't you want to see your $10 million investment? It's just like, so all of you guys, whether it's 10 million or 10,000, wouldn't you want to see that at bank? They put your money up. People don't get to go in there and handle your money and walk on it, touch it, and do all those things. And they have cameras. Then you go and you buy land, and you're letting, a bum could set up a little tent on it. And before you know it, he was like, I have eminent domain. I can stay here. And you didn't know. You're not in the know. And that was your $10,000 sitting there. So, you want to leave your eyes and ears there all the time. It's, a camera is a representation of you, but you just got to get it where people know that you're watching. And that's what I battle. I've been doing this since 91. So when I got out of college at MTSU, I started working as an installer of surveillance cameras. This is so long ago that, and your all's average age probably doesn't remember what a tube is on a television. So when I started in 91, it was black and white cameras only, and they were all tube. And then we used a switcher, which means you switch from one camera to another. There wasn't multiple on the screen at one time. And so when it switched, it would go like, it would power up, where the chip makes it instant. Okay. And so that's how far back I've been with the surveillance industry.
You need to say it like this. I remember
Yes,
back when
yeah.
there were used to.
And this has been my life since. I would never have realized that 30 years later, I'd be still in the same industry, but I love what I do because I cannot think of a way to help a business owner more than put more of them in their own business. Okay, so when you go and invest something, don't you want to see it? Well, I think if you don't, then why are you investing it? It's almost like going and just saying, yeah, I don't care what the stock is, just go ahead and buy it. That'd be silly, right, Greg? It's your portfolio is just like, hey, this is supposed to make money. I'm not going to invest in it unless it's going to make money, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing. It's like wanting to see a return. Okay, well, that's why you should put your eyes in it. And it can be as general as this. Let's say you're just buying a house to rent. Okay, I've bought a property in Florida. So listening to talking about the Florida rules, which are, they are different. But here's my point: is it doesn't matter if it's Florida or California or Tennessee. By putting a camera on the driveway, that gives me the ability to see who is now renting, who's coming in and out. Okay. And so I now know it's like, okay, I was renting it to this guy. He was saying it was just his wife, but all of a sudden I see another vehicle pull up, and another vehicle pull up, and it's all these kids. It's like, I got duped here. They're going to have a party and they're going to destroy my house. I wouldn't want that. So now it's a simple call. It's like, hey, your deposit, I just want you to know. You can handle this in a positive way. You can say, I just want you to know that you don't get your deposit back if there's any destruction. And I'm watching right now and I'm seeing that there's a lot more people going in than we agreed to. Or you could take it up a step and say like, hey, I'm not going to rent to you guys, or it's going to be immediately more because this contract is null and void due to the fact that you are not following what you said
You breached it.
Yeah. So there's a lot. So that puts you in the know, and then you're doing it. When we were looking for this property in Florida, we stayed at a property so we could be near all these properties we were looking at. And anyways, the guy calls me and tells me that be careful that I saw on the surveillance camera some bears. And I'm sitting there going, I know exactly what he's doing. He's just letting me know that he has cameras and he's talking about the bears. And so I was thinking, it's like, that's funny. There can't be a bear problem. So I went out like looking for bears, and it got to be night. And all of a sudden I heard in the bushes, it was like a huge person was in the bushes. And I was like, holy cow, it really is. And so it moved and I saw it. And I just bolted past the surveillance camera right up the stairs. And I promise you only touched one stair all the way up the deck. So he was.
There really were bears.
So he was really using a factual event, and he did have cameras. But see, I thought he was just being bright and witty and trying to trick someone that he didn't know what I did for a living. But that it works. It's just letting people know in a positive way, some stuff that they're going to look into. I sold a lady, her first name was Rose, in Bon, Accel. Do anybody know where Bon Aqua is? Okay. Why do you know where Bon Aqua is?
Well, I live in Cheatham County. Right
Okay.
against it.
Yeah, you're close enough. So,
Yeah.
so this is Rutherford, but it leads the Rutherford County, excuse me, not Rutherford, Hickman County. Hickman County leads all counties in the state of Tennessee for trailer parks. Okay, so they have more mobile homes than any other county. Hickman County does. So Bon Aqua, I went out there to do a demo for this lady named Rose. And I pull up and it's just all single wides, no doubles. And they're skewered. And you can tell, this is quite many years ago, so TVs were a lot heavier. You could tell which side of the trailer the TV was on. There's broken windows, dogs all over the place. Yeah, no sign of an office. And it was like, oh, this is really dicey. And I was like, yeah,
I'm afraid of some of those.
This is a waste of time. And all of a sudden this lady comes running out, and because I'm just kind of like driving around, I'm not getting out of the car. I'm not really scared of dogs, but they were looking pretty, like they were hungry. And and so anyway, she was like, hey, I'm the owner. I was like, oh, hi. So I get out and she goes, I just bought this place. And I'm like, all right. And then she says, I'm not going to invest another dime in it until I get security put in. Because why would I fix a window or invest any more money in it if I'm not able to prevent it and catch and prosecute whoever's doing that thing? I was like, this is an intelligent woman. And so we have done a second location of hers since then. And so what she did is I found one of the trailers that she was going to identify as the office. And so what we did on that is like, so this is a pretty central location. I was like, this is perfect. Why don't we use this window that faces everybody? And let's just take a television and let's shove it up in that window, meaning the TV's on the inside of the trailer, push it up against the window so it's facing outward. Then the camera that is closest to the trailer will put it on that TV. So that means every time you walk by this trailer, you're sitting there just like this. You're sitting there like this, this would be the big TV or that one right there. You're sitting there looking at yourself. So you walk by.
You're off camera,
so
right?
You walk by, and you're sitting there seeing yourself. And you're literally like waving at yourself on the camera like I'm doing right now. But that gives the people that are living there the knowledge that you have a good system. It grabs their attention. That's the point of it. The vast majority of camera systems that are out there, you see the camera, but people don't really think that they're even working because they're not using them. They're not letting the community know, hey, I've got a camera system.
So it's a deterrent right out of the gate. That's
Right
the
out the
number
gate.
one reason.
Right out of the gate.
But the number two reason is so they don't deter, then you can prosecute because you have evidence.
True, yes. And that's what the police really think, is the police think that it is a great way to prosecute. They don't think it prevents that much, but it's also because they don't get called out. They only get called out to a property when an event happens, when a shooting happens, so they're not getting called out on the other stuff. So they don't really think it prevents that much. However, it's like you ask any police officer when they put up cameras at a corner because they're having a lot of drug deals, what happens? Drug deals just go to some other place. So that they leave that corner. So it totally prevents that area. And I'm really kind of in the transportation business. So if you guys use, a surveillance camera, not necessarily us, but if you use a surveillance camera at your property, you've transferred your problems to another person's property. So
Kind of like the hornet's nest. If you knock them down there, they're gonna go somewhere else. You just got to keep them from
what's
being
great
on your
is
porch.
you can devalue the other property next door by sending your problems there, and then you buy it for less, and then you put in cameras, and now you have a portfolio that is awesome. Yeah. So,
That's a great sketch.
Absolutely, that's the way to do it. So, in McMinnville, there's a Sonic and a Chicken Shack, and the Sonic owner was a customer of mine, and actually you know of him, and I called him before because I knew I was I knew that they were both side by side, and I was like, hey, I'm going over to the Chicken Shack, do you know anything about him? And his name is Bill, is the manager of this particular one. And he goes, oh yeah, I can tell you, he's got bad employees because everyone that I fired has gone over there and working there. It's like, oh, okay.
That's hilarious.
So, but that's in essence kind of one of the ideas.
Thanks for watching this video. If you like what you see, be sure to follow our Generational Wealth Learning series. On select Thursdays, we offer cutting-edge industry information that would normally cost thousands of dollars. And the best part, our education is absolutely free. If you register through our events page, you can join us live, either in person or over Zoom. In the meantime, like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a beat.